Hello, everybody. It's been a while, but WTWO's Beyond the Stands is back as we head into the spring season, and no team in the Wabash Valley has been hotter to start the spring than the West Vigo girls softball team. And I have a couple people from the team joining me today. One is their star, Jaleigh Lindley. Jaleigh, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
She's out of school right now, so she's enjoying that. Another one joining me is head coach Chris Nidiffer. Chris, good to see you, Coach.
You too, buddy. Thanks for having us.
Okay, so one of the big reasons I had them on, I'll start with you, Coach. 7-0 start to the season. I believe you thought you would be pretty good this season, but has the team at all surprised you with the way they've started this season?
Yeah, I'd say a little surprised. I was asked the same question at the Braves Bash, and I said I would highly expected us to at least split at worst. But the girls have put in a lot of hard work, and it's showing. We're playing as a team right now, so I'm pretty excited for them.
Off to that 7-0 start, and Jaleigh's been a big part of that. I know you've been on varsity since your freshman year, and when you start young, you take some lumps early on, but you guys, as you go year by year, you expect to get better and better. Coming into this season, did you expect this and the start that you've had?
Yes and no. With the newcomers, with our freshmen, I feel like they've been a big part of it, and them helping us, and our senior being a really good role model, helping us through everything also.
You speak of that, Jaleigh. You got a nice mix of young players contributing on varsity, only one senior on the team, and it's a good makeup of players. You're not senior heavy, junior heavy. How nice is that you have a variety of players? Does it provide some energy from different age groups there?
Yes, there's a lot of energy with that. I feel like we all get along with being how old and young we are, and it's just amazing to see how we click like that.
Now, Coach, sometimes when you play different age groups, there's always that, upperclassmen think they should play first, that kind of thing, but you put the freshmen in right away and played them. How has that transition been with your ball club?
Well, I'm perfectly honest, it's not been early on. It wasn't welcome, but we try to instill that we're here with the team. It's team first. The girls, obviously everybody wants to play. It's just the nature of the beast. But we have role players, and we've been given opportunities to some of the younger girls. Sophomores and a few of the freshmen, and they've embraced it. So I think we're getting past that hump and just letting everybody realize that we're a team, and we win as a team, we lose as a team. I tell the girls that all the time. You win with class, you lose with class, and I obviously there's nobody likes to lose. But when you're winning, everybody's happy, including fans and parents. So hopefully we can keep it going that way.
You're right. When you win, everybody is always happy. I was looking through your stats, and many people know Jaleigh, and for good reason. She's committed to play Division I. But, Grace Rogers, J.C. Elkins, Ariana Elkins, Lily Krause, Riley Jones, Annabelle Colston, Janelle Sullivan, Cam Funk, Briley Wool. You go down and down, and I feel like every game a different person steps up for you. How exciting is that for you to see, Coach?
Oh, it's awesome. We always try to – I've been very fortunate. I believe this is year 7. I'm not counting the COVID season, but we've always been pretty fortunate where we can protect our 3, 4, 5 hole hitter. You pitch around one, you got to deal with the next one, and I know that's the idea. But our girls show up, and it's nice to have that. And several of those names you mentioned, they've stepped up when they needed to. They grew over the off season. And now they're our leaders, and the younger girls coming in, they feed off of that, and it's another cliche, you want to be family, but I honestly believe that, these girls, they go to battle every day for each other, so.
Now, Jaleigh, it's no secret you're one of the best players in the Wabash Valley, and I'll say in the state for that matter, but you get a lot of attention, but how much confidence do you have? I mentioned all your teammates that if they're going to pitch around you, or if you're not having your day, that your other teammates are going to step up and deliver.
I have so much confidence in my team because when I have a bad game, I know JC and Grace are behind me, and they're going to hit the ball. They're going to back me up, if I'm not having a good pitching day and my defense is going to be behind me, they're going to make plays. I know they're there.
Love it. I got to thank the sponsors of the show, Crow Equipment Incorporated and Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, building a higher standard award winner for quality and reliability you can depend on. Call Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, 765-832-9401. Okay, so one of the big reasons I had to have West Vigo on, they're 7-0 off to one of their best starts in years. They also, over the weekend, won the Braves Bash. 15 teams came to Terre Haute to play in this tournament. It's the very first time West Vigo's ever won this. Now, I'll start with you, Jaleigh. I know you got bigger goals down the road at the end of the season, but how big and important was it to you guys to win the Braves Bash?
It was so important to us. We all talked before, we're like, we don't expect to go in there with those good of teams, like such bigger than us, and play, but we know we were going to like compete, but not winning like that. So I think when we all came together and won like that, we were all excited and just, yeah.
You speak of that, there were some big teams, I mean, some 4A schools in there and all that. How much confidence does that give you guys? I mean, like, you didn't go in there and, beat bad teams. You beat good teams. What confidence does that give you guys?
That it boosted our confidence a lot, but not making us like too cocky. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and just like all of us, like playing those big schools makes us know that we're good enough to play with any team.
Coach, it was the 16th year of the Braves Bash. As you mentioned, you've been around for a lot of those, and you know the history of the Braves Bash. Some really good teams and players have come to this tournament. For West Vigo to put their name, on that plaque that they won this tournament, how big is that for your program?
It's big. We've been able to compete. It hadn't always gone our way, obviously. I think a couple, 2-3 years ago maybe was like our first victory. We won a game. But we have always been in the games. Can't hang on late or, not necessarily getting dominated by the bigger schools. So I've always known that, if we just show up and play and get the girls to understand, that you put in a lot of hard work, and this is what it's about. And it makes it nice to, I'm big on not being cocky, be confident, stay humble, class when you win, class when you lose. But for these girls to put a run rule every team that we played, and they weren't, no slouch teams either.
Mm-hmm.
These were, Martinsville, Mooresville, very, very good 4A teams. And since the restructuring, we've dropped down, I believe, to 2A. So we've been putting a different sectional and stuff like that. And it's nice to know. I've made a comment to RAD a couple of times, about different teams, and he's always questioning, hey, this team wants to play, and I'm like, let's go. We're again not cocky, but we're not scared to play anybody, and I'm kind of on the fence with the whole no class tournament schedule, mm-hmm. like one class, I guess, of ball. But it's nice to know that, no matter who we play, we can compete. I mean, we go to Casey Westfield for our first game of the season, and I believe the last 2 years they've came in 5-0, and then this year was 7-0. I haven't followed them since.
Traditional powerhouse.
Yeah, Dalton has a good program mm-hmm. over there. But I would like to, think that we're right there and can compete with no matter who we play. So.
You're talking about former Sycamore baseball coach Mitch Hannes. He always said, I'll play anybody, anytime, anywhere. And that's kind of what you'll say your West Vigo team will do this season. You spoke about 10-run rule. I looked it up. The last 5 games, you won 21-2, 10-0, 17-2, 10-0, and 18-4. You're not winning. You're destroying teams right now, Coach. Just not only are you winning, how good is your team playing right now?
Well, again, this is the cocky and confident thing. We have actually, kind of side note, I looked it up. We have scored, I think, 96 runs and only given up 16 on the season. So that I'm always been a defensive guy. Mm-hmm. Hang your hat on the defense. They'll keep you in games. And then, with what we work on in the off season and these girls, putting in the extra work, we know the bats will come around. Matter of fact, Saturday morning against Mooresville, I was getting some gray hairs because the ball, that's like strike 1, strike 2, and we're like, hey, swing the bats, you guys can hit. And I don't know why they do it to me, but about the third inning, they started roping the ball, and next thing you know, I was smiling again. So, but yeah, our girls are tough, man, and I agree that they can play with anybody. I hope we can keep our success moving, obviously, but we're not blind to the fact that the more games you win, the closer you get to a loss. So we got to just stay grounded, stay confident in what we do, and then just let the rest take care of itself. Home opener tonight against a really good team. We always obviously want to go undefeated at home. So it should be a really good game tonight.
Want to mention the new ways you can follow Beyond the Stands on Spotify, CastBox, Pocket Cast, and iHeartRadio. Jaleigh, Coach mentioned it. Was Vigo softball, you're enjoying success, but it hasn't always won. They've had lean years. How nice is it to – you guys walk on the diamond right now, not only believe you can win, but you're starting to get some notice statewide, starting to get in the rankings that you're kind of putting West Vigo softball on the map a little bit.
It's amazing. I feel like it's a very helps our confidence a little bit because we've never been known out of state. I feel like, and now we are, and people are know who West Vigo is, and it's pretty amazing to be a part of that.
And I got to ask you, I mentioned it earlier, you committed, I think it was back in November, Division I softball player committed to Akron. So when you committed, and that's a big deal, that's the highest level you can play in college, D1. Coming into the season, usually when you commit like that, the bullseye grows on you. How much did you know coming into the season? People were like, oh, that's that Akron commit, I want to show I can do something. How much did you know the target was bigger on you coming into the season?
The pressure's there. If I don't perform, people are like, why is she commit? Why is she going there? And I just like to show people that that's why I'm committed there. That's the reason that I'm playing Division I softball is because how good I am.
Well, you've certainly shown people. I looked up the stats this morning. You're fourth in the state in fourth in the state in strikeouts. Ninth in RBI, and you're going for pitching, but you're just delivering top 10 in the state in both RBI and strikeouts. I don't want to say impressed, but how satisfied are you with the start of your season this year?
I'm satisfied with my pitching. My hitting's definitely not the best it could be as right now. And I can tell, so I just got to put in the work and get those hits up and keep on the pitching as well.
She's not satisfied with her hitting, but she hit a grand slam over the weekend. So how does that work? Was that your first have you done a grand slam in high school yet?
In high school, I think so. I think one.
One?
Yeah.
But you hit a grand slam and you're not satisfied, right?
Satisfied in the moment.
There we go. I love it. Coach, I got to ask you about Jaleigh. She talked about it. The bullseye's on her there whenever you commit Division I. I know she works extremely hard. She plays a high-level travel softball. What have you seen from her, and just how good is Jaleigh?
So I'm glad that you asked her that question because she has grown. I don't want to say immature, but she has matured so much since last year. Her confidence level, she plays now to us coaches. We tell her all the time, it's just you're playing loose, you're playing to have fun. Not that she wasn't before, but I think getting to sign to go play college softball was a huge relief off of her shoulders. So now. The easy part. Now it's just this is why we're here. Everybody plays a sport to have fun, and if you're not having fun, it's going to obviously be miserable, and you're not going to enjoy it. So her mentality has really grown stronger, and that's why she's a huge leader on the team. And the girls look up to her. We got a group, and we do game day memes, and nobody's safe. I'll put it that way. Even you, Rick, if they find a picture of you will end up a game day meme. I had to block my Facebook so they couldn't get my younger pictures, but they all take it in stride, and they're all just having a really good time right now. So let's hope we can keep up. So
you're saying a meme of this podcast might come out?
We're both going to be on it. I guarantee it. Yeah, we're going to be a game day meme. So.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I mentioned it, she's not only one of the better players in the Wabash Valley, but Jaleigh's one of the better players in the state, and her stats back it up. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. I will agree with her on her hitting. She's capable of so much more, and I'm not being arrogant. I think at times, I know last year she pressed a lot, like she had to perform. But now, you've got top to bottom on our lineup, can hit at any time. So I think that with the way she's developed pitching, not that we've not had good pitching in the past, but we're not silly. We know that we don't always have that one lights out dominant pitcher that can carry a team. And now not only do we have that, but also our bats are right there carrying it. So we're gonna be a tough team to beat if we're playing as one. So.
We talked about your 7-0 start to the season, and obviously conference will be a goal of your guys'. But postseason is where a lot of people make their mark, and it's hard to believe, Jaleigh, in your high school career, you haven't got a sectional yet. 2022 is the last time West Vigo won a sectional. 2014 the last time we won a regional. Just how hungry are you guys to kind of end those droughts and make some noise in the postseason, Jaleigh?
I think we're really hungry for that. I feel like it's a accomplishment we want to make because people are talking about how good we are, and I think we want to prove that to everyone that we are that good and we can do that. We can make it to regional, we can make it to semi-state, even state.
I like those goals. I like the way you talk, Coach. I know you've been a part of it. You've won a sectional, but it's been a couple years. Right. As I mentioned, WIC will be a one goal, but people remember what you do in the postseason. That's no secret. I don't want to say you talk to the team, but how much is it a focus that it's time to make some noise in the postseason for your program?
Well, we always have personal goals, and we tell them this every year. Goal number one is always, do better than we did last season with the win-loss record, win a conference, and then be playing for a sectional championship. And we've never hit all three goals. We've came close. I think most of the time we're tied for second or maybe third in the conference. We have won one sectional, and we actually, the year we won sectionals, I think was only the second time that West Vigo had more than 20 wins in a season. So for us to get that opportunity and going forward with, obviously we're on the track to do better than we did last year as far as the wins-loss. Conference is always, you never know. Anybody can win at any time, but I guarantee you they're checking us on their schedules. And then, with the new sectional that we're in now, we're not sure. We don't know what to expect, but you know what? If we just go in and we play our game like we have been, I said it earlier, it doesn't matter who we play. I feel like we can compete. So,
I love the swagger. Hey, it's not bragging. You guys have backed it up. I want to thank both of you for joining the podcast today. West Vigo off to a 7-0 start, one of their best starts in recent memory. Won the Braves Bash for the very first time, and they're looking to make some noise as the season goes along. We're about a month into the high school softball season. Definitely a team to keep an eye on in May and June. Remember, you can always follow this podcast on mywabashvalley.com. That does it for this edition of Beyond the Stands.